Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and here we are. It is Saturday, May the 6th. I can't believe it's almost halfway through the year already. Holy cow. But I have so much stuff planned for this week and next week and today. But right now, if you know, Saturday Happiness is where I kind of like review the videos that I did in the previous week or up to today, answer questions, talk about it, and then talk about what I'm doing and what's coming up next week. So, if you're new here, welcome. I hope you guys hit like and subscribe. And oh man, I have so much going on. It's the best. So, I have my notes. You know, I never want to forget. So last week I had a good week. Last week was cool. You know, the week before, Brian is 2 weeks in on his broken foot saga where he cannot walk for 8 weeks. And that has created a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to raise you up a little bit. There you go. It's been a little bit of a challenge, sort of. He's able to get in and out, and, you know, we've gone around, and he can do stuff, but not all the things he wants to do. And one of them, I'm looking out my window at my greenhouse. I need to weed whack all the way around the outside of the greenhouse, and we had to take his lawn tractor to get it fixed because it wasn't starting. So I'll have to do that once that's fixed. But in general, today's going to be an awesome day out in the greenhouse. But the videos I did last week, this is so much fun. Last week was super cool. Last week, the first video I did was I reorganized my sewing room. It took 2 full days. Blows my mind how much stuff you can put in a room because it kind of becomes a catch-all. And I would walk in and go, oh, I'll just put that there. And then I'll be like, oh, I'll just stick it up there with those pieces of fabric or over here with this stuff. So I had like stuff all over, and I pulled everything out, and I was able to organize all of like my garment fabric in one thing, and like all of my quilting fabric, and then all my pieces, which would be for small crafts. So everything's super organized, and I'm playing with my embroidery machine. I'm excited about that. I had fun with that. I've never had one of those, and I've been looking into it, and I was kind of got a really super cool deal on one, so I got it. But looky, I've made a bunch of stuff. Look at this little thing. Isn't that cute? It's like a little hangy thing, but it's kind of like a little chicken, and it hangs up. It's hanging in the window of my sewing room. And then it has all the little eggs. Isn't that cute? So that's like a first thing I've ever made. Well, it's probably like the 4th thing I've ever made, but it's kind of fun. So there's a whole adventure with that. So now I have my room organized, and it's so much easier to be more effective and to not feel so overwhelmed when I sit down to do a craft because I know where everything is. That's a good thing. And I feel like I should do that every single week. And I just have to show you this. I was telling Vi, I made a thing for her. Her birthday was yesterday. So I made her this cute little mug rug for her to put her mug on next to her chair. And she said, you know, I was going through this desk and I found some scissors and I want to give them to you. And I need to show you the scissors. These are 12 inches long. Vi gave me this awesome, like, these are awesome. They're like a weapon. They're cool. So she gave me these 12-inch long scissors, which are cool. And actually, she used to be an editor of a magazine, and she thinks it came from there. Anyway, so now the excitement really starts because Linda over at Linda's Pantry came up with this awesome idea that she needs to get through her freezer. Like she says, she got a chest freezer, and she's like, I need to see the bottom of that at some point. So she decided that she wanted to challenge herself, and then we were talking about it, and I was like, I'm on board with that. So we're doing a no meat buying for 6 months challenge so that we are forced to get stuff out of the freezer. Now, last week we announced that we were doing the challenge, and I think she did a recipe that included some stuff from the freezer. I hadn't got anything from my freezer just yet. So every Sunday, so starting tomorrow, we're each going to show you what we chose from our freezer. And then throughout the week, we'll make recipes. Now, we might, for me, for example, it's just me and Brian. And so when I pick something, then it could be something that can be converted into 2 or 3 recipes, or even a recipe and then doubled with part of it frozen, because that can go back as long as I've used the meat from the freezer. So, excuse me. So tomorrow will be my first trip to the freezer, and I have a couple of different freezers, so it might be different stuff from different freezers throughout the week. But tomorrow will be the first video, and I will show you my freezer and what I chose, the meat I chose out of it. And then next week, there will be, or this upcoming week, there will be a video using what I chose, and then maybe a couple of other things, and I'll just show you what I did with that. Maybe not a full video. If you want the full video, I can make one later. But anyway, so that's exciting, and that's the no meat challenge. And there's going to be this little logo. It looks like a T-bone steak, and it says no buying meat or something on the little logo. So if you see that, even if it's a recipe that we did for anything else, if that little logo's in there, it's going to be a logo that we made from meat that we chose and showed you on the Sunday previously. Okay, so I'm excited about that because I already have that video up for you to see tomorrow, so you can see the meat that I chose, and that will be good. And then, you know, there's also a thing, I do want to do a little blurb about the different types of freezers and why you would choose them, and do like a little freezer education thing, because we actually do that as part of the program that I'm in. We have this whole information thing about freezers, and I just think that's good info to share. So at some point in the next few weeks, I will do a thing about freezer tips and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. So there's that. All of the things that I have in my freezer are vacuum sealed. Now, if you just take your meat and put it in the freezer and it freezes with just in the store package, you can get freezer burn pretty easily. But especially if it's been there a while, and different types of freezers can cause more of that. But all my stuff is vacuum sealed. So I'll be quite honest, there is meat in my freezer that's maybe 3 or even 4 years old, but it is vacuum sealed and has been at the very bottom of my chest freezer. And if you pull it out, no freezer burn, nothing. So it's, you can use, you want to follow the safe storage guidelines. But if I take a steak out or something and it's maybe over a year old and I look at it and it's fine and it's been vacuum sealed, I can still use that. It's a matter of making sure that you inspect the meat well before you cook it. And we'll go through a little bit of that when we do the freezer meat stuff. The next video this week, the Bean Bonanza. I love that Prepper Potpourri came up with the Bean Bonanza. And if you look in the bottom of this video, there will be a link to everybody that's participating in Bean Bonanza. But I love that she did it because it makes you kind of think of more ways to... There's people who eat a lot of dried beans or a lot of beans in their normal menu plan. There's other people that don't, and they just don't really know how to use them. But they can be an amazing source of protein and a super good way to stretch a budget. And in today's world, stretching your food budget is a positive thing. So I did butter beans. They were so good. I actually like lima beans anyway. So basically it was like lima beans, but they call them butter beans. You know, there's different names for different kind of beans. But I did that. It was super good. Okay. I did a short this week, and the short was our son's dog, Zyla, which is spelled X-Y-L-A. But Zyla is a howler. She is so fun. She has the best voice. And when I was taking her to the groomer and she was, you know, telling me all about the trip to the groomer, I just thought it was cute. So I stuck up that little short, and she's a good dog. We babysit her periodically, and we had her last Friday, Thursday and Friday, and took her to the groomer. And then we just had her day before yesterday. We babysit her night before last, and Jake came and got her yesterday. She's a cute dog. And then my essential oil was the bathroom spray. I love that. But you know what I really love is when I do my own cleaning supplies, it's springtime. And all of a sudden I feel like I want like more of a floral and citrusy smell and stuff. So I am able, at really not a lot of cost, to, even if I just want to change my cleaning stuff, I might take the cleaning stuff that I have and pour it into a bucket and use it outside for stuff, and then remake stuff for inside the house with a different scent. So I really like that because I'm able to change the scents of my cleaning supplies at whim, and I love that. Okay. Next week, what do we got coming up next week? Okay, so tomorrow is already the video of my choice of my freezer for the no meat buying for 6 months challenge. So you'll see that. And the choice that I did is actually I just took one item out. And that's a thing too, is to be able to look at your freezer, take out like a piece of meat, a larger piece if I need to, and that in my mind, I can make several meals off of. So that's going to even stretch that freezer challenge more. So tomorrow will be my video talking about the meat, show you what I chose. And then next week there will be a recipe using that. And I already have it in my mind. And it's going to be so good. So there's that. Also, last night I made the meal that is the video for the Bean Bonanza that I have on the 9th. That was so good. I haven't made it in years, like literally probably 20 years. I don't know why. But then I was looking at bean recipes and I thought, oh, I have not made that in a long time. So I made that and it was so good. So there will be a recipe on the 9th for the Bean Bonanza. Be sure and check everybody out. The recipes are phenomenal. Oh my gosh. You know, and you can do so much more with beans than you really think about. So, good stuff there. And then I've got a cute little, kind of a quick little info video coming up about, I'm going to say, you know how they have from garden to table? Well, I have a little video tomorrow about beans, and it's from kitchen to garden. So check that out. It's going to be a good one. That's coming up, and that's just informational about beans. So that will be coming up. And then this week, my essential oil recipe will be on Thursday, because on Friday is my another bean video for the Bean Bonanza. And this one's going to be interesting. It is not a savory meal type bean recipe. It's actually going to be a sweet snacky recipe. So you'll want to watch that. That's on Friday. Okay, today, what I'm doing today is I'm heading out to the garden. I got a weed whack. I got to amend some soil. I've got plants. I got 8 artichoke plants. I don't know what happened to me this year. I've always said, oh, I want an artichoke. And I don't know why. I went to, excuse me, Weimar. And they had artichoke plants, and I got 8 of them. Well, no, I got 2 over at Territorial Seed in Cottage Grove, and then I got 6 at the Bi-Mart. So I got a whole section. It's an old flower bed along the side kind of area, excuse me, of our yard. And I'm going to till all that up, and I'm going to put all my artichoke. That's going to be like the artichoke garden. So I'm excited about that. My friend Shalea brought me some strawberries that supposed to taste like pineapple. So those are going to be fun. They're going to be really cool. And then I got some potatoes. I got a bunch of stuff to plant today, and I've been meaning to do it, but like every single time I go out, it's been pouring rain, except for today. It's overcast, but it's not raining, and I'm committed to being in my greenhouse. So there's that. Depending on when I finish, our little community, we don't have a fire station. Well, we have a fire station, but it's not like you think about it, because if you're rural, you know what I mean. Our fire is provided by a volunteer fire department, and every year they have a big spaghetti feed to raise money. So depending upon when I finish, we always donate anyway, but if depending on when I finish in the garden, we might go to the spaghetti feed. If we do, I'll do a little video of that. That's kind of cool. And then, oh my gosh, guess what I got? I had to order. I ordered from Walmart because I couldn't find this anywhere else. When I was in town, when I was at Weimar getting my artichoke plants, I saw that they had the Mrs. Wages packets. And you know, I like Mrs. Wages. I like it. One of the things I like is that their packages of canning, kits, I guess you call them. You can use fresh tomatoes, or you can use the big number 10 cans. And I've done several videos making the recipes, the Mrs. Wages canning mixes from canned tomatoes. And the reason I like that is because where I live, I can't grow the big tomatoes like I would need in order to make the amount of product that I want. And if I go buy it, it's probably more expensive and a whole lot more work than if I just get the cans of organic, like diced tomatoes in their juice. So that's what I do. But I went and they had the pizza sauce and they had the salsa, but they never have the pasta sauce. And quite frankly, Mrs. Wages pasta sauce is my favorite over even made from scratch. It's just so good. So I got onto Walmart thinking while I was in town, maybe at Walmart they had it because this is the time of the year. And they didn't have it. Well, I looked on the app and they didn't have it in store, but you could order it. So looky look. This is going to have to be coming up. Hang on, let me get in here. I'm doing an unboxing on my Saturday Night Live. On my Saturday Happenings Saturday Night Live. I'm excited about this because I love the pasta sauce, and I only have about 6 jars left, and I was kind of getting worried. I don't know why it's so hard to get the Mrs. Wages pasta sauce. Look. Yay! Okay, so I There she is, Mrs. Wage's pasta sauce. It is so good. And so for like this package, I could make this package with 6 cans, 6 14.5-ounce cans of the low sodium. I get the organic diced, petite diced tomatoes. I get those at the chef store, the big cans, and they're actually pretty cost effective, and it makes this perfectly. So I got 10 of those. So I'm going to be able to make some. Yay. So there's that. And that made me think also, when I was at the chef store the other day, I saw mushrooms, and I looked. I only have 2 half pints of home canned mushrooms on my shelf, and I love my home canned mushrooms. So I'm thinking about getting a bunch of mushrooms and canning those. So, whew, that's it. I went through my whole list for my Saturday happenings. So the Mrs. Wages might be coming up. I actually did a video on it, but you can never do too many videos, right? So I might do that. And if you haven't been to my channel before, you may not go back and see those videos. So I do want to do mushrooms. I haven't done a video on that in years. And so I'm going to try to get some mushrooms done and some more Mrs. Wages pasta sauce. And today I'm going to get out in my garden and get things planted and going. And I'm going to be a busy girl. So there it is. I hope you have a wonderful week. And I look forward to making some more videos and answering questions and comments about the videos that are up. And be sure and check out everybody in the Bean Bonanza. And be sure and watch Linda over at Linda's Pantry and me in our 6 months of no buying meat challenge. I actually think it's going to be great. It's a good way for me to cycle through, because it's so easy for me to pack my freezer, then go to the store and go, ooh, this is on sale, and take that home and make it, and do that over and over again, so that I'm not really using the meat in my freezer. So this is a forced way of having to rotate that meat out of there. So I hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a great week. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.